What's going on, guys? I hope you are doing well this afternoon. It is 5:32 Central Standard Time where I'm at. I just wanted to update you regarding the charts. All right, so I took a little bit of a hiatus after this awesome pump. Uh, we notified you guys regarding this diamond pattern reversal. Pretty much it far exceeded the expectations. So I was expecting a pump to the upside, but also how these work when you have a candle pattern, you get like the candle close from the lowest candle to the top, and then you can either put it either here or here to kind of get an estimate of where the price is going. Actually, we had a breakout right here, and it far exceeded that. And it makes sense because we had a bullish engulfing candle that broke essentially this line of resistance here, which was at 26.799K. After that, we started noticing some areas to watch out for reversals. All right, so at that time, we had identified pretty much various points of resistance that we got to be watching out for. It hit this downward sloping line. I'm going to turn it into another color just so you know what I'm talking about. It hit this downward line of resistance here. As you can see, the first candle that tapped it, people were taking profits, and there was a bearish candle, but we had some buyers coming in and essentially broke through, got another bullish engulfing candle, and actually hit 28.1 to 1K. And then from there, we kind of were a bit, well, not we, but essentially the bulls were trying to hold this line, turn it into support, failed, bearish engulfing candle. Then we had the 9 exponential moving average and the 21 exponential moving average starting to dance together. Usually when that happens, it just means that a reversal is coming through. And we also had this back test of confirming this line as resistance once again. And then that's all she wrote. Bart candles galore. All right, and price is now back below the 200 exponential moving average, but as you can see, the 0.618 Fibonacci level is still holding as support, so there is hope for the bulls still. Also, we have established a new line of support here, which is rather interesting. It is below the Fibonacci level, but ultimately 25.3 K has been solidified as a new form of support, so we have additional areas of support to look out for. This is rather interesting. So if price continues to bounce above the 0.618, I'm still bullish up until this point. Hold on. Sorry, I had to sneeze. All right. Well, as it stands here, I'm going to now get to my momentum oscillators. Okay, so I'm going to go to the 1 hour time frame. And as you can see, we're starting to get some choppiness here. We did have 1, 2, 3 bearish divergences on the 1 hour time frame. That's not good. And just the fact that we're below the 200. Now, I wouldn't be necessarily too concerned, frankly. I would definitely watch out for the 618 on the daily time frame or the 12-hour time frame. If we see daily candle closes or 12-hour candle closes below the 0.618, then I would start to worry. But honestly, though, given that what I'm seeing here, we're getting wicks down to the 25.3 range, the 25.3K range, I'm sorry. I do feel like this has been somewhat solidified and we have some mega whales coming in and basically eating up the supply down here at 25.3. So as it stands, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be too concerned. We do kind of have like a midline at 26K, so that's just something that we're gonna have to just keep our eyes on at this point. But so far, I wanted to show you guys something. So usually when resistances are broken, they're usually back tested as support. So I just want to show you something. So I'm going to extend this line here. As long as price is above this line, I'm still bullish, frankly. So I ultimately do think that we're going to get multiple tests up here. I do feel that, retesting the 786 would be advantageous. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You don't want to play Nostradamus too much. You want to take it level by level, and realistically, you just want to, take what the market gives you. So from this standpoint, we do have this downward sloping line here that has been confirmed as resistance. There was a break above, but that was a fake out. There was a tap of the 28K mark and just complete reversal from there. Now I am noticing another pattern. Another pattern here is a triangle pattern right here with the flat base. Flat base patterns are actually bearish patterns. Usually what happens is they break to the downside. Now, if I were to get the base top, if I were to get the top and then the base bottom here, just a rough estimate, keep in mind, if we do break to the downside, I'm going to keep, let's say if we actually do break below the 618 Fibonacci level, it looks like we're going to be, dancing around the 0.5 mark. Now, that has not happened yet, and these triangle patterns are not definite to the downside. Think of it in terms of probabilities and percentages. We have a downward trend, okay? That's a check mark. Then we have a potential bearish pattern here with this triangle pattern. So that's 2 checks for the bears. Also the 4 hours bearish, and the daily chart is bearish. Hold on, sorry. I am getting a little sick, I guess. Keep sneezing. Sorry about that. But yes, now it's nothing to be concerned about. I mean, we could still trade this range. You just got to be conscientious of your support and resistance levels. Okay, we got support here pretty much at 25.6, and we have downward sloping resistance pretty much around 27, 26.8K, 26.5K. So you have to be very, very careful and conscientious. If you are going to long this move right now, not financial advice, but be aware that there is a defined resistance. And if you want to short this position, you got to realize that you'd have more advantageous opportunities in these levels than you would in these levels. Just something to take into consideration. Now, if there was a bearish engulfing candle below like 25.3, I would gladly short this market. Pretty much we would be able to catch 6%. But conversely, if you were to quote unquote the long this market and wait for resistance to get tapped again, that's a 5% mark. So there's opportunities both sides. You just have to be prepared. You have to understand your levels, and then you have to make your decisions given the opportunity. All right, so I'm going to try the TSI just to show you exactly what's going on here. Okay, so the slow moving average is the green line, and then when it flips, it goes red. So as it stands, we are going red. Now, interestingly enough, there could be opportunities to be had at lower levels. I much prefer to buy in these areas. Frankly, I like to buy closer to the -40 mark and the 50 mark, somewhere around here. I would preferably like to have opportunities for that. Now, given that we are in a buy zone, we are in a buy area, so it'd be, frankly, a little bit more wiser to long this position than it is to short it. But yes, just have your, stop losses in appropriate areas. Just be very conscientious that the market is volatile. But yeah, it was rather interesting because, we had Grayscale basically win against the SEC, which caused the pump, but then there was news regarding, delays in the Bitcoin ETFs in the United States, which completely reversed the market. It's hilarious. But at the end of the day, that's just algorithms that operate, based on good or bad news and make their decisions as such. It's all algorithmic. But as it stands here, support's holding pretty soundly. I'm going to be bullish temporarily from a scalping perspective. Pretty much try to catch a long here, then close out, maybe open up a short, depending on what the market shows me. Given you want to have 2 to 3 indicators saying the same thing. Okay, so you have to be very careful with that. You need consensus and multiple perspectives. If you know how to read candles, you want to catch a bullish candle, okay? If you know how to read TSI, you want to look for those pivots, those divergences. If you have your market liberator indicator, you want to look for those green dots, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. Conversely, if you're bearish, you want to look at those red dots confirmed with the bearish divergences. You want to be selling up in these areas, okay? So for example, here I wanted to show you guys this. See, when the TSI is very good at catching tops, okay, and confirmed with Market Liberator. So for example, Market Liberator gave you a red dot right here, and TSI was hella overbought, okay? And look, and just look exactly where the market decided to pivot, okay, right there. So if you took that red buy signal, if you took that red sell signal on Market Liberator and you just held it, you'd still be in hella profit right now. So, there's a method to my madness here. I've been trading for roughly 5 years now, and pretty much, I've tested out hundreds of different indicators until I found this stack, and I was actually starting to see consistent wins. But you just have to be dedicated to your theme. You have to write notes. I highly recommend writing in a journal, and documenting your wins, documenting your losses, documenting the feelings that you've had, because you want to be even keel. If you're too high on your own supply, that leads to you playing sloppy, you know. So you also don't want to be too down on yourself if you're taking, consecutive losses or whatever like that. You just gotta, close the charts out for a couple days, take a breather, and then come back at it at another time when you're in a more stable and balanced kind of perspective. So it's a game of psychology, you know what I mean? Like you are literally competing with BlackRock, you are competing with like Citadel and all these other heavy institutions, not including like retail traders as well. People want to take your money, and you just got to be very, very careful with that. And have a set strategy going in. I do have algorithmic bots as well. So like I do have some algorithmic bots kind of going on and stuff like that, and I highly recommend that as so yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but feel free to reach out to me, DM me. I'm active on Discord. I'm Rick BRT. Maybe I should actually start a Discord. I'm not too sure. I don't know if I'm dedicated for that yet. But anyway, you know where to find me. Um, but yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say. But I'm just saying, be mindful. We are closer to support than we are to resistance, or I will say that. All right, take care. Have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.